Hello everyone. Today's topic is on DBT and Snowflake. So DBT, the full form of DBT is data build tool, which is used for transformation of the data, which is in Snowflake. We can use this DBT for transforming the data. Once we ingested the data into any of the Snowflake or Databricks or any other databases. So it will be useful once we ingested the data inside any of these cloud databases. So why this becomes today's topic is DBT is much used uh, in recent days for transformational purpose and as well as other materializations that it has, and it can even push your data much faster by having a number of sessions opened up. Okay, and even you can have some pre-hooks, post-hooks, all this stuff. And it was usually used to have a separate virtual machine or separate server kind of, where it could be installed and then used. But Snowflake introduced DBT on Snowflake, which works similar, and the maintenance of DBT entire things will be handled inside Snowflake to cater our requirements of transforming the data from one layer to other in the medallion architecture. Okay, so as part of this today's session, I will explain how to get the DBT on Snowflake started, and we will do one more video on much detailed video on how you can create your own models and how you can create your own macros and how you can how the billing is going to be consumed and how you can run your model once one model, how you can schedule your models. Those things we will let you know in another video. Okay, let's start. So if you see, once we landed onto our home page of Snowsite, so you can see something called work with data. So under work with data, we can see projects. So we can go to the workspaces. Once we clicked on projects, you can see workspaces. So click on workspaces. It takes you to the workspaces where you can try to create our new DBT on Snowflake. So here you can see there is something called add new. Okay, so here there is something like SQL file which you can create, like you are seeing on my screen. Load sample data from AWS S3 with SQL. Python file, notebook, file, folder also you can create. This is like, it's like my workspace, right? So my workspace can be having an SQL file, Python file, notebook, file, and folder. Upload, you can do even upload of the files also, and upload a folder from your local, upload a file from your local, or upload files through, you can, it can be allowed from your local system. So this is like, for example, if you want to create like DBT project on Snowflake, so you have to come to my workspaces, then click on the DBT project. This is one way where it gives you a sample DBT project. Otherwise, there is another option where you can always go to my workspace, and it gives you few other options, like how you can create like private workspace, shared workspace, or from Git repository. Okay, so your workspace can be created like these ways. Okay, suppose if you have your DBT on your Git repository. So we can create it through a create workspace from Git repository. So you can give the Git repo URL and then works automatically. It gives you the workspace name it will identify. And then if you see here, there is something called API integration is required. So in this API integration, while creating this API integration, we need to give the name, allowed prefixes from your Git repository. So authentication secrets, you can select it here. And after that, you can create this. So this is how you can create a workspace from Git repo. Okay. So now, right now, let us create a DBT project and see what it consists of. Okay. So let us create a DBT project. Maybe the project name can be the first DBT project, you can say. So if you see the project name, the moment I entered the space, project name must contain only letters, numbers, and underscores. It is not allowing the space. The moment I remove the space, the error is gone. So first DBT project, or you can have the underscores also. Now let us see what is the role. I mean, understand this role and warehouse here. So what role your this project is going to be used while running this DBT project, what role and warehouse that it is going to run, and even the database and schema as well. So once we select it, then it will help us to create it. So for right now, this is a sample instance. So I'm just trying to take care of account admin role. But usually in projects, so everybody will create a separate user for an ETL or ELT, right? And similarly for BI applications as well. So similarly, so your admin will help you to create a role and assign a warehouse for this, and even the database also. So what database that it is going to be created, those details will be provided here. Okay. I'm just selecting it. So once you fill all these details, we can click on the create. So once we clicked on the create, it started coming up. Okay. So on your left pane, you see, right? So my workspace, worksheets, and database explorer. So as you see here, I can just minimize this. I can minimize this and see the database explorer as well, and try to expand this first DBT project. So what is this first DBT project? That is nothing but the project name which we created for DBT on Snowflake. So once we clicked on the DBT project, first DBT project, it gives you like analyzes. There's nothing over here. Macros, nothing over here, because it's just a sample project. Right? My first DBT model, my second DBT model. So you can run these DBT models, or else you can open it and see it. Okay. So if you open it and see, they have created materialization is stable. I'll explain you in the next video, like what is materialization. I mean, what type of materializations are available in DBT and Snowflake. Okay, so they are doing with source data as this and union null. Select one and select null as this, and select star from this source data from the first with class. So the materialized equal to table means it will create a table. If it is an already existing table, then it will not create. Okay, so here in the second model, what they are doing is ref of my first DBT model. If you see the my underscore first DBT model, ref of this model means what it does is it refers the first model. So which means it will run this, and on top of this, it will build the second model. So that is what is the ref means reference. It is going to reference the first model and where ID equal to 1. So which means it creates where ID equal to 1 from the first model. So it is actually bringing the data, which is select star from that my first model, whatever is the output which is going to be there, right? So from there where ID equal to 1 will be generated. So that is what it is in the my first model and my second model. So this is where the models we are going to keep it. Suppose if you want to create a file, right? So just click on this. So it will show you what you can do it. So if you want to create a model, so you need to select the SQL file and Python file also, you can notebook also, file, folder. If you want to create multiple model folders here, so for each maybe medallion architecture, if you want to follow, you can create folders for each architecture and you can do the upload of files and upload folder as well. Okay. And on the second three dots are there. If you want to copy to some location, you can click on this and move to and rename and delete. Okay. So for example, if you want this model to be downloaded, you can click on this particular model, three dots, and you can share it. You can copy the code, you can copy to duplicate, rename, download, copy full path, delete. So this you can download it also, and that is about all about models. And so macros are like there. I mean, macros will help us. For example, if you have any specific reusable codes or something that like that, if you want to use, you can keep it in the macros, and that macros will be utilized across all the models. Okay. So, and the other option is seeds. Seeds are going to be helpful for us, like in terms of when you have any static values data, then probably you can use seeds. It's not probably, it's definitely you can use this. You can upload a file over here, so it runs the seeds and then get that data loaded. So any fixed value files, if you want to run, you can have them here. And coming to the snapshots, so at the point of time, whatever, if you want to generate a snapshots, so it is definitely, helpful by using DBT. So you have to keep those things in snapshot, define those things here. So and coming to the tests, so it suppose we have in warehousing or data engineering, so these tests are very important. Like for example, any of the not null constraint is there. So any of the key columns which should not be not null, should not be null. And other thing is, for example, any of the account related or else any of the important fields should not be null, or maybe any of the values should be, I mean, having said that, like length of that should not be more than that. So any of these kind of data quality checks, you can define it and run this test so that you can always get the model model running by passing these tests. Once the tests are passed, that means your model is at least giving you some quality data. Okay, so and DBT projects. So if you open the DBT projects, it's like configuration files. These are all packages. You can define your files and profiles also. Profiles will be more or like whatever we selected, the role, whatever the warehouse we selected, database we selected, schema we selected. And target dev is like it is going to be like dev environment. Suppose if you want to have different environments, so we can have this in target dev, target prod, target QS like that. Okay. So this is all about profiles files and DBT projects. So it is going to have like models, what I mean, seeds, where are those, and the like materialized view or materialized table. So how these are structured, that structure we need to define it in the DBT project. So, and after that, if you see on the top of your screen, so there is something called depths, seed, run, tests, build, retry, parse, docs generate, lists. These are all you can run it. Suppose if you want to run a model, then click on here and then run it also. Okay, so this is something like you can run it like it's like a VS Code or compiler where you can run, right? So you can run and see your process, how it works. And here when you come here, the deploy DBT project. So once your changes are done, you can deploy it and If it is an existing DBT deployment, you can just click on this existing DBT deployment and then connect. So, and once you deploy it, I'll show you like one model. We'll create it in the next video, and we will run through the scheduler and single model, how to run dependency models, how you can run all those videos. I will do that and let you know. Until then, thank you. Thanks for everyone.